Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go! Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, and Dayquil. Allergies are getting me. The Dayquil is getting me through. Jason, on today's show, it's going to be a shorter show. It'll be a kind of a 25-minute show today. We're going to talk about don't let emotions get in the way of the motions you need to take. Don't let the emotions get in the way of the motions you need to take. So what I'm going to do is I have this beautiful boom book in front of me, and we're going to go through page 4 of the boom book, which all of our listeners can download for free by going to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the podcast button. There you can download an ebook version of every book I've ever written, I believe, up to this point, of which there are 13 books up there. So 13, maybe 14. I think there's 13. But go to page 4. Jason, you're on page 4. And you've coached with some great clients.
I have.
What I'd like for you to do is share about maybe some clients in the past that refused to do part of this. Basically, there's these boxes. There's a workflow. There's a diagram of what you need to do to get where you want to go. And what I would like for you to do is read off the first box and then tell me about maybe pushback you've received from a client about doing it. And then let's share a positive story about when they decided to start doing it. So let's go to the first box. What is the first box? Because these are the things you have to do to create both time and financial freedom. What is the first box in the workflow on page 4 of the boom book say to do?
The first box is goals. Why, number of customers needed to achieve your goal, and the number of customers to break even.
So step 1, you got to determine your goals. You have to determine your goals, right?
Right.
And then underneath that, what were the details there? Determine your goals.
So your why.
Okay, so determine your why. Got it. Okay. Yep.
And then number 2 is you need to know the number of customers needed to achieve that goal.
Determine the number of customers needed to achieve that goal. Okay, so that's box 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Determine your goals. Have you ever had a client ever push back about figuring out their goals?
Yeah, and the most common response was, well, I just know that I want to be profitable and grow. I'm like, yeah, but towards what? Because you can just put some ethereal number out there, but you have to know exactly what you got to do to get there.
But okay, so let's do an example. This would be like you're hitchhiking, okay? We're hitchhiking through life.
I love hitchhiking.
And you say, thumbs up, here we go, thumbs up, hitchhiking. Someone pulls over, they pull over, they get into and they pull into the shoulder, boom, 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 boom. Excuse me, sir, where do you want to go? I don't know. Well, okay, well, I'll leave here then. I mean, next person pulls over,
yeah,
boom, 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 in the shoulder. Sir, where are you looking to go? Couldn't tell you. It's hard to get anywhere if you don't know where you want to go.
Right.
Now, I think the biggest issue people have about determining where they want to go is they say, what if I miss out on my true purpose? What you need to do is quit reading books about goals, quit having spiritual psychedelic experiences, quit traveling around the planet, searching for your goals. Just start. You can't steer a parked bus. You've got to determine your goals. Right. Now, because if you don't determine your goals, you won't know why you're doing what you're doing. As an example, in my man cave, which we will soon show various aspects of the man cave on YouTube soon, but the man cave, we have it written, and it says, actually do this. Go over to the bar real quick, Jason. At the bar, you'll see the pyramid. And if you can yell out the org chart, just kind of yell it out to us here. And I think the mic should pick you up a little bit. Just kind of yell. You see it there? It's the pyramid. What's at the top of the pyramid? God. You got God is at the top of the pyramid. What's second?
That's Dr. Z.
That's Dr. Z. So step 1, I want to do everything I do. I want to make sure that it honors God as I see it. 2, I want to make sure it doesn't conflict with Dr. Z. He's cool with it. 3rd is what? Vanessa and I want to make sure it doesn't conflict with my wife and I. What is in the next part of this pyramid? Jonathan. I want to make sure that Jonathan understands it, knows it, and is on board with it. Next. The Thrive Time Show. What does it say about the Thrive Time Show?
100,000 downloads per week.
I want 100,000 downloads of the Thrive Time Show per week because we have hit our goals. I am happy. What is the next one?
2,000 thrivers.
We want to have 2,000 Thrivers a year, attend conferences, and subscribe to the online school. And therefore, we had, I think last year we had just a hair under 2,000 people attend the conferences. Therefore, I'm happy. And what is the next one? Franchise the what? The coachable. Franchise the coachable. Thank you. You can come back into the studio now. So, knowing my goals, I would like to get your perspective. When you work for somebody or with somebody who knows their goals, can you contrast that to working for someone who doesn't know their goals?
Yes, because there's an actual path that we can follow instead of just wandering around aimlessly.
And isn't it helpful to know that, like, isn't it, comforting, good or bad, you know where I stand on things?
Oh, it's very comforting. That way there's no gray area. It's this or that.
There it is. But for me, you say, well, Clay, if you did this, you could get another 100,000 downloads a week. No, I've hit my goals. So I'm going to put out this show for you. I'm going to tell you the specific tasks you need to take, and then you can decide whether to apply it or not and decide whether to share it with a friend or not. But I'm not going to do any shortcuts or hacks that might sabotage my goals because I've already hit my goals. So knowing I only want to coach diligent people. If you're out there listening right now and you're somebody who just wants to be shown the proven path, you're my kind of person. If you're willing to do the work and implement what you're learning, we're a good fit. You know, Thomas Edison said that vision without execution is hallucination. If you're somebody who doesn't like to hallucinate, you just want to get stuff done, you're going to love our program. Jason, people are going to love our program if they like to get stuff done. Why? And what kind of person would hate our program?
Well, I'll answer the second part first. The person who would hate our program is, of course, the people who do not want to get anything done. And the reason why is because we give you a lot of stuff, but all of those things are going to help you hit your goals. It's going to help you maintain your goals. It's going to help you grow past your goals if you want to.
Now, again, what if you don't want to get the goals done? What if you just want to talk about it?
Well, then you can just talk about being broke.
And that's like a life coaching thing.
Yeah.
And that's not what we do. We teach diligent people how to implement a proven path. Now, again, you have to determine your goals today. Figure out what are your goals, and you might need some specific details. You need to know your F6 goals. You got to determine your F6 goals. What? Determine your F6 goals. I don't know what they are. What does that mean, F6? It's faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship, and fun. And you want to figure out what it costs annually. Jason, why is it important to figure out what it costs? What it costs annually?
Well, that number is going to affect your business as well. So you can schedule out your time, and that's fine, but you need to know what it's costing you because that money is coming out of your account. That's money you could allocate somewhere else.
Now, again, if you know your goals and what it costs annually, then you might know if you're there or not.
Right.
So like Andrew and his wife are looking to buy a new house, which is super cool. I'm excited for them, right? But they clearly know how much money they plan on earning. Otherwise, you're going to feel this pull to go out and buy a bigger house.
Right.
A bigger mansion, bigger house, better car, bigger car. Why do you think I haven't bought a new car? Why do you think I'm driving a Hummer with, 200,000 miles on it?
Well, at one point the Hummer was the goal, and then you hit it and you're like, I like living here. This is great.
Yeah, and it still works.
Right.
But the world says I should do what?
Ball out of control, man.
Right.
Get that Raptor with the 68-inch rims.
Go and get that Lamborghini. Get the Ty Lopez mobile. Get the Lamborghini. Get the Porsche. There's nothing wrong with you if you want that. It's just not on my goal list.
Right.
Again, determine your goals for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and determine why you want to do these things. And then determine specifically how many customers do you need to achieve that goal. Well, for me, I only want 160 coaching clients. I do not want 1,000. Why? Because I personally do the 13-point assessment for every client. And why do I do that, Jason? Why? Because
it's your system. But also, you get it. You're giving them the action items to help them grow. And so if you were to do that for 1,000 people, what does it typically take? 1 to 3 hours to do like a full plan?
Yeah, usually we got a 1-hour call. Mm-hmm. Then it takes me about an hour to research my old files and get it all together. Then a couple hours to type it out. So we're talking, on average, 4 hours of my time.
Yeah. or 4,000 if you wanted to ramp that goal up to 1,000 people.
And you could say, well, Clay, you could teach other people how to do it. I don't want to. Why? Because I only want 160 clients. Yep. Why? Because I want to know your name, or at least I want to be able to kind of get your name quickly at a conference.
Right.
I don't want you just to become a number. Have you ever been to a thing, Jason, where there were thousands of people and you were just one of the things in that group of 1,000?
I mean, I've been at a job where there's only maybe 60 employees and you are a number.
And doesn't that suck?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So today I'm doing a call here with somebody by the name of Leah, I believe. Leah. From Louisville, Kentucky, where my wife's from.
Oh.
And we're going to talk to her about how to grow her business. And I'm excited about it. I am excited about helping this person. And whether they become a client or not depends on whether we have an opening or not.
Right.
And I think I talked to Andrew yesterday, and he said that we have a client who's hit their goals, and so we'll have an opening here soon. So that's great. So I'll probably have to tell Leah, hey, October. I'm not sure when the show will come out. The show might come out in, I think we're actually at this point where we've recorded through, I think, November. This might be a December show.
Yeah,
but
we're far out.
Right. But I can tell Miss Leah, hey, we can move forward in October or November, whatever the date is. But again, you got to know your goals. Now, Jason, have I been sipping on DayQuil this week?
You have been.
Why?
Well, because you have to be here. No sick days. Bill Belichick.
This keeps people from getting. How often does getting sick keep a client from getting their crap done? Not your clients, but other people.
Oh, it happens all the time. Just you get that random text. Oh man, I didn't get anything done. I've been sick as a dog the past week. So can we have a mulligan? Now,
do I do that to you?
Never.
Interesting.
I've watched you on the threshold of death. with the sinus infection. You're like, we're going to Denver and we're doing this FDD.
Somebody needs this. This is Bill Belichick at the Patriots parade, and he's given the mic. He can say whatever he wants to a crowd of over 1 million people in New England to celebrate the winning of the Super Bowl. And this is what Bill Belichick chooses to say. Let me cue it up here. Let me get it. Let me get the audio clip. Come on, Billy. This is what Belichick. Yes! 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 But again, if you want to take your days off and not get your action items done because you want to take a day off because you have a sick day, it's fine. You just won't be successful.
True.
Let's not make this a stressful, complicated thing. You just have to get your homework done.
Right.
But again, step one, you got to determine your goals. Jason, what's the next box? Because we're just teaching people the system that works. Don't let emotions get in the way of the motions you need to take. Do what needs to be done. Jason.
Yeah, so the next box is you have to determine the number of hours you're willing to work on the business and when that is.
Talk to me. What does that mean to you?
So let's say I were a coaching client. I was your coaching client. And you said, okay, Mr. Jason, how many hours this week can you actually work on the business? And I would say, well, I work 40 hours. No, that's within the business. That's you doing jobs. This is you doing things outside of that. When you're going to run your ads, when you're going to look at your numbers, when you're going to systemize everything, when you're going to make your handbook, that's working on the business. So how many hours a day can you realistically do things that are going to benefit the business, not just bring in another sale?
So walk me through again. Step one was determine my goals. What is step two again?
Determine the number of hours you're willing to work on your business.
I don't get it. What do you mean? Step two, you're saying determine the number of what?
Of hours.
The number of hours I'm willing to what?
Work on your business. So what time are you going to schedule within your day and week where you sit down and you do nothing but work on the business to improve it?
Let's work on this business right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go to go out to the cover or out to the counter real quick. And I want you to grab my to-do list real fast.
Got it.
Can you grab real fast? So Jason's going to grab my clipboard from the counter, and we're going to work on the business right now. We're right now, Thrive Nation, we are working on the business. Now, through the power of Sharpie technology, I think you have a super pen with you. Do you have a super pen with you or a good pen? A reliable pen?
I have a reliable pen.
Okay. So if you can write on the reliable pen, say, call Devin to keep. So call Devin. That's the step one. Call Devin, dash, and then put Thrive Time Show. That way we know what it's about. So call Devin. Who? Call Devin about what? Thrive Time Show. To keep the microphone to keep the studio from recording itself. To keep right? So we played the intro today. You know, the audio recorded itself. That's what we want to do, right? So we're working on the business. Now, doing the show right now, we're in the show. This show is actually happening right now. But to be proactive, I noticed something weird going on where it's recording itself right now. And Jason, why do we have to put it on the to-do list right now?
Because you deal with 10,000 other things a day and your brain's not made for remembering. So if you write it down, you see what your missions are and you're like, oh, I haven't accomplished that yet.
And we got one more homework item. Let's put deep dive, dash, create the universal ultimate tracking sheet. Now, and then put underneath it subpoint A, number of articles written per week. Cool?
Gotcha.
Subpoint B, number of group. I put group interview conducted, yes or no. Group interview conducted, yes or no. And then put accounting meeting completed, yes or no. Right? And then put team meeting completed, yes or no. Gotcha. Because we were on the phone today, and I'm not at liberty to share this guy's numbers on our show. But you were on. You heard me talk to a guy this morning, right? Yeah. Who is killing it. I don't know if you heard him. Did he tell you about the $200,000 of sales he did in one day? Did you hear that part or no?
Yeah, that was like his first win.
Yeah. So a guy did $200,000 of sales in a day, folks out there who are doing some kind of construction, some type of home remodeling. I've got a client doing $200,000 of sales in a day. A guy who's growing a business from $3 million to $5 million, potentially $6 million in 1 year. Jason, that would be doubling your business.
True.
In a year. And you heard the call.
Yeah.
Real guy.
Love that guy.
That
guy gets me inspired.
And that guy on the phone call, did he not say, hey, what's stopping us from opening up another city? Did he not say that?
He did.
And he's been a client for 4 or 5 months. You've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And what time do we do our calls?
You call him at 5 a.m.
On Saturday?
On the dot every Saturday.
What? What time are we recording right now?
The official time is 6:48.
What time did we get here today?
We got here about 4:45.
4:45. You got here at 4:45, and I was feeling horrible. I didn't want to get here at 4:45. You know why? Because I am not feeling good. I got allergies, baby, in Oklahoma. Anytime the weather changes, the allergies get me. They punish me. But Jason, we're here.
We're here.
Why are we here?
Because we got to do it.
No days off.
No days off.
Why are we here?
Well, it's just got to make Belichick proud.
But what if we let our emotions get in the way of the motions?
If you did that, you would not be recorded all the way through November.
Interesting. And why are we recorded through November? Why do you think I'm that far ahead?
Well, it's better to stay on it, but you also have stuff in the can just in case. Let's say we're rocking the no days off and we just happen to get smited by a random bus we have no control over.
Right. At least we'll have audio content for 2 months after my death, right?
There you go.
I'm like the Tupac of podcasting.
In memoriam.
I'll be dead and I'll still have albums coming out. It's so important, though, that you get in your head right now the number of hours that you're willing to work on your business. How many hours? Here's what I'm saying to you. I'm willing to go from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Every day. Gonna do it 5 days a week. Okay? Boom. I'm willing to give you 60 hours. I'll do it every week. 60. Then on the weekends, I'm gonna go from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. both days. I'm willing to give you 72 hours a week. I'll do it every single week. I like that. And I have never met a billionaire or a millionaire, anybody who has a lot of money, who works 36 hours. Now, if you want to work 36 hours, that's fine. But get off of my field. My field, I don't know what field you play in or what industry you're in or what field, but I am in the field of super success. I am not in the field of the amateur hour. I am not interested in watching a crappy comedian deliver his half-baked presentation. I am not interested in watching a minister who doesn't devote the time needed to be great. I am not interested in watching or hearing a podcast that is half-baked. I want people who are excellent, and the market does too. Jason, have you noticed how good Seinfeld is?
You know, I have. I was never an appreciator of it until I started working for you. And it's gotten to the point where, like, I'll go back in, like, you'll play a clip. I'm like, that was really well done. And then I'll go and watch a whole episode and be like, I can see why people watch this. It's just a good product.
Have you noticed how many shows Joe Rogan has put out?
Oh, it's baffling.
I mean, Joe Rogan's got quite a few podcasts there, folks.
Yeah.
Now, I think right now he's on 1,351. And I'm saying that because that's the number on the show.
Right.
So he's got, I mean, it's consistency, constantly adding content.
Right.
1,351. But you've got to figure out how many hours a week you're willing to work on your. What if you never write that number down? What happens, Jason?
Well, typically you don't have time to get the things done that you need to get done. You have to know that number. It's like defining what your goal is, how many customers you need, what your break-even point is. Same thing with time. Everything's a trade-off. So let's say I decide that I want to spend 8 hours of my Saturday recording my own podcast. Well, I'd have to schedule that out. Otherwise, something else would pop up and I would never get it done.
Now, I have 1,716, so 1716 shows out so far.
Whoa.
1716.
Wait, did we beat Rogan on numbers?
Yeah, I think we're ahead of him because we have 1,700. Let me do it again. We have 1,716, and Joe Rogan has, let's see here. He has 1,351.
Oh, in your face, Rogan.
But what I'm trying to share with the listeners, and I don't know if people know this, I have an audio vault of ones I've recorded that I haven't even finished yet.
Right.
Of over 1,000 still. So, again, why is it important, though, that I define, Jason, I'm willing to work from 5 to 5 and not from 5 until 10 p.m.? Why is it important I've defined those boundaries with my wife that I can go from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.?
Well, you have to measure what you treasure. And if you've defined that you're working from 5 to 5, that's what's happening between 5 to 5.
Could we make more money if we were willing to work at night? Could I make more, you think?
Sure.
Yeah. Could I make more if I was working on the weekends?
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to work after 9. Folks, I don't know if anyone understands the words that are coming out of my mouth, but maybe with the cowbell, maybe with some clapping, maybe with some enthusiasm, maybe with some Dayquil. Step 1, we got to determine our goals.
Right.
Step 2, determine the number of hours you're willing to work on the business. And step 3 is what, Jason?
Determine the unique value proposition.
Determine the what?
The unique value proposition.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
What makes you different?
Now, what happens if a client doesn't want to make something that stands out? What happens if they say, have you ever had a client you've talked to and they're like, yeah, I know that in order to get the attention of the marketplace, I'm going to need to stand out, but I don't want to because somebody might not like it.
Yep.
What happens?
Well, I have that same conversation about 4 weeks later, and they say, hey, I've had no new leads come in. I have no new business. Nobody's going to my site. Help me. What do I do? I'm like, well, you ever tried not being invisible?
Okay, so let's talk about how you can stand out. Let's give some specific examples for the listeners out there. First off, let me read a notable quotable from Seth Godin, who we've had on the show, best-selling author, marketing genius guru. He says, if you're remarkable, it's likely that some people won't like you. That's part of the definition of remarkable. Nobody gets unanimous praise ever. The best the timid can hope for is to be unnoticed. Criticism comes to those who stand out. So, Jason, with this show, who does this show appeal to and who does it not appeal to?
Well, the show appeals to the diligent doer and the one who has a business growth and successful mindset, but this would not be something that somebody who wants to be lackadaisical or just enjoy. Because, I mean, you're hilarious, but anybody who's looking for like just comedy would not like this podcast. This is for the person who wants to get stuff done.
If you don't want to get stuff done, though, you're not going to like the show.
True.
And there's a lot of great shows you can listen to that just kind of fill your mind with ideas, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what if you don't like the show?
Well, that's fine. You can go somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Elephant in the Room, our men's grooming lounge. It offers high-end haircuts to men looking for an experience, right?
True.
And what kind of person would like it and what kind of person would not like it?
Somebody who wants to have that experience and wants to take that time out of their day just to go through the whole motion of what we do. But if somebody just wants a super quick cut, they don't care about that, then that's fine. There are other places that they can go that are better suited to what they want.
We had somebody the other day who wrote the following thing. They said, hey, the this person signed up for a haircut. They signed up for a haircut. And when they signed up for the haircut, apparently they it says scammed. This is what they wrote. Scammed my boyfriend by telling him he could come in for a free haircut. Turns out it was $11 plus a tip. Not surprising, though, the way the owner runs his business. Now, the person who wrote it is a former employee.
Figures.
Now, Jason, what happens if somebody's not a good fit for our office? What happens?
We just move along. And we find somebody who is a good fit.
Right. So when I fire somebody, is it shocking that they're going to go leave bad reviews?
No, not at all.
It's not.
It should be shocking because typically people get fired for reasons that they caused. They're going to do it regardless.
Do we fire the best people? Is that a strategy?
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing if we just fired all the A players?
So we have to fire bad people, correct?
Right.
We fire the bad people.
Yeah, only the bad people.
But part of our unique value proposition is that we have happy people that work at Elephant in the Room.
Right.
Right. So is it shocking that when we fire a low energy person who chooses not to be happy, is it shocking?
Not at all.
But in order to get universal praise, I guess the only way to keep them happy would be to not fire them.
True.
And then if we didn't fire them, would the customers be happy?
Nope.
No. So again, you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
So you got to be remarkable. And Elephant in the Room, our brand, is a high-end haircut. Now, why do we record the calls for quality? Why do we do the quality assurance call recording?
To make sure that everybody on our call center staff is following the same script so everybody gets the exact same experience.
Does American Express record the calls?
Yep.
Does Target have video in the stores?
Absolutely.
Why do certain people say it's shady that we record our calls for quality assurance? Why do certain people say it's shady?
Well, because if it's an employee, employees do shady things, or if it is a customer, the customer may not be truthful about their experience.
So this particular person who says their boyfriend was promised a free haircut.
Yeah.
The call's recorded.
Right.
And we've sent it to the customer and it says, hey, we haven't seen you in 90 days. And so we would like to offer you a haircut for only $11.
Right.
Would you like to do it? Sure. There it is. How is that scammy?
Well, because $11 means free. And who told me I had to tip these people?
And when these people are maybe living together and maybe all of a sudden one party gets an unexpected bill, do you think someone's going to say, well, yeah, I agreed to it? Usually they throw us under the bus, but we recorded the calls for quality assurance.
Right.
And again, some people think that's shady. Some people think it's great. But either way, we do it, right? But if I were to sit there and run it by the team, hey, team, what do you think? Do you think we should do $1 haircuts? Do some people on the team not like the idea of doing the first haircut for $1?
Oh, some people are very, very hateful.
And they
of the
say,
deal.
it's cheapening the brand.
Right.
We don't want to do $1 haircut. Some people. So again, you can't get universal praise.
Right.
You can't. By the way, do certain employees think they should get a break every 2 hours?
Yes.
And if we did that, what would happen?
We would never cut hair. We would have open gaps where we're not making money.
And then, but again, I've had people say, it's like you're running a sweatshop. A sweatshop, getting paid, $12 an hour, getting a break every shift, every day. It's not a sweatshop. But again, if my goal was to get universal praise, I couldn't get anything done.
Right.
These are just 3 of the steps on the 13 steps to proven business success. But we got to get past the emotions here, folks. We got to get past the emotions that are getting in the way of the motions that you need to take. So, action item 1, go to thrivetimeshow.com today and click on the podcasts button and download the Boom Book for free. You can download it for free, the ebook version. Just get it. Boom. Then open up to page 4 and look at the steps. Implement the steps. And you might say, but I get so emotional. Well, then you can't have success.
Right.
It's not that you're a bad person. You're a good guy, good lady, great American. You just can't have success. You're the kind of great American that pays their taxes. I tell you, I believe in you. I believe in strong roads, strong families, and strong listeners. And I bet you that you're the kind of person who pays taxes. But that's great. You're a great American. But you got to implement your action items. You get paid based on what you do, not based upon what you say you're going to do. And so now, because I've said I'm going to do it, I'm going to call Papa Gallows, our client in Florida. We're going to call them for their 7 a.m. meeting. So without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.
No.